Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the 15-star Super Boss versus Owlbear, and we're going to be using the buildable teams that I put together in the preparation video, and some things have changed. As they do, as always, these teams are subject to change as the Super Boss goes on. We make tweaks, we make enhancements, we change teams, and we make things better. So, I did initially test what we had, and we just found better ways. So, we are going to be diving into the 15-star event, as I said. Before I dive in, I'm going to go into the captain log, the crew log for you guys, and just show you guys the teams. So, these are the three teams here that we are using. The bottom team is versus the quick Super Boss, the middle team is versus the strength Super Boss, and then the top team is versus the Psy Super Boss. Now, as you can see, obviously I brought Kaido instead of using stuff like Kid. It just worked nicer. So that team got a pretty big revamp, but all these characters have released not within the 9th anniversary, but were on either the ASL banner, or they were on the New Year's banner, or even last year's anniversary. So they're pretty buildable, they're pretty accessible teams for most people. But if you guys don't have like some of these units, let me know in the comment section below, and we can have a chat about some replacements. But if you enjoyed the video, belt like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Let's dive in and let's take a look at the 15-star Super Boss Kazuna. Alright, we're going to kick it over with the strength variation of Owlbear. So we are using the Shanks team with a friend captain Zoro. Now, if you can find a max Zoro, that is going to help you guys out so drastically that's not even funny, because at level 4 or higher, he only needs 2 of the Straw Hats, and that's a big reason why we're actually using a level 5 Zoro or level 4 Zoro. If you guys don't have a level 5 Zoro friend captain, you can't find a level 5 Straw Hat friend captain, you just want to replace Kinemon Dendro with another Straw Hat that can allow you to access the Super Tandem of Zoro. Now, with this particular team, we do need to store 1 turn. We just need to build up some Wano slots, so that way we can do a little bit more damage on the final stage, mainly so we can go into the Enma Unleashed variation of Zoro. That is going to allow us to get the damage limiter to double the amount, because you can only do 50% of the final boss's HP, so that's actually going to help out something absolutely drastic. So, as you saw there, we stalled 1 turn before we move on to stage 2 against Black Maria. Now, Black Maria has a lot of HP. She has a Wano barrier, and she is a strength unit that gives you 4 turns of despair. So thanks to Corazon and thanks to Kanjuro, we can actually get around that on the supports there. So if you do replace Kinemon Dendro, you really want to make sure that you bring a support that can get around despair. Kanjuro, he's a fantastic unit for that. On the final stage against Owlbear, we are going to get... well, Owlbear's going to put up 1 turn of Threshold, 3 turns of damage reduction. He has a 5-turn damage limiter. He has Slasher Resistance, so you slashes do more damage. And he has an Intimidation for attack and conditional, where he reduces it by 0.25. So, pretty annoying stuff there. Shanks is going to be our color affinity booster. He's also a super type as well, which increases the color affinity, and means that our quick units are going to be doing a lot more damage. We're going to use Robin for a conditional boost here. And then we can use Zoro for our attack boost and a second conditional boost, thanks to the increased damage taken. Now, when you tap with Zoro with a Tandem or Wano Orb, he gives that increased damage taken, so that works out quite nicely. So the tap timing might be a little bit different for most people, or how the max damage for this team looks, but you do need to break through the barrier with a Tandem slot, which is a little bit annoying to do. So starting with Zoro helps out because he has a Tandem Orb. He is in his Enma Unleashed form, so he's going to be giving Wano Orbs, and he gives that additional damage, plus he's super effective against all types, and he doubles that damage limiter. We have Orb Boost with Kinemon Dendro. We have extra resistance thanks to their swap as well, and this team actually works really, really nicely. If you guys have stuff like Rush Sanji is like a fantastic unit that you could probably use over Kinemon Dendro, but as you guys will see here, once we activate that super tandem ability from Zoro, like fantastic mechanic too, by the way, it looks absolutely amazing. It is just going to do absolute bits. So, just a cheeky 8 million from Zoro alone. But obviously, this is not the max damage team. It's more of a buildable team for you guys at home. So, hopefully, it helps you guys out. And if it does, let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to know if you guys have some replacements, or if you guys have some ideas to either make it better for others, or if you're using it yourself. On to the next team. Alright, so the next team is Versailles, and it changed absolutely drastically, as we are using Kaido as our captain now. We were using Kid and Capone, but it just got a little bit finicky. And with Kaido, if you have Kaido, like, he just does way, way better damage. We have the Straw Hat Crew on this team now, so that for their final tap, just providing like, extra damage at the end. But with that, we do lose the color affinity of Killer, so that's a bit of a downside. But with the pseudo double special of Kaido, it works out absolutely amazing for this particular team. Another unit that we added to this team that we didn't have was Dex Queen. Dex Queen is a chain boundary unit as long as you hit 3 perfects, I think. It might be 2 perfects. And with the stage against Sasaki on stage 2, we can actually get that and tap through the block orbs, which is really cool. To remove the despair on our captain, we have the support of Ulti and the double special of Sasaki. And then we can use the Queen special to give ourselves an attack buff for Powerhouse and Driven characters. And then Kaido is actually going to increase that by 0.25 passively with his captain ability. With that, we have enough damage to actually take out Sasaki here, which works really, really nicely. But as you can see, it does get a little bit tight towards the end. So you will need a little bit of investments with your particular squad, as I do think there's like 1.5, oh, it's like 15 million HP, I think, is that particular stage. We did about 18, so there's a bit of leeway there. On the final stage, you get Special Mana for 6 turns, 1 turn of Paralysis, there's 1 turn of Damage Reduction, and an Intimidation debuff for an Attack Boost, Conditional Boost, and a Orb Boost. You lose it by 1 turn, which is super annoying. Also, if you use an Attack Boost, Color Affinity, Orb Boost, or Chain Boost, Owlbear will actually interrupt and wipe away your positive effects, which is very, very annoying because we were trying some stuff with, like, pudding shenanigans, but obviously that's not going to work. We're going to use Kaido for an attack boost after we use Owlbear to remove the Special Blind. We use Killer to remove the damage reduction. We get attack boost and orb boost with Kaido, 1.5 times extra damage. We have the chain boost carryover, and then we can use Sasaki to actually give us color affinity because he gets his special back. Finally, we can finish it off with Owlbear once again. We get base stats, we get chain shenanigans, and it all works out pretty hunky-dory here. Plus, having Queen and Sasaki on the left means we can actually use the super tandem for Owlbear, provided he's at level 4 or higher. But you can still use Kaido, but it means you lose damage. As you guys will see here, we have plenty of damage, and we hit around 18 billion with this particular team, which is honestly pretty good for a buildable team. But there obviously are, 17 billion. There obviously are some better teams that will do more damage, especially if you have some of the new int-driven Beast Pirates that did come out for the 9th anniversary. Let's move on to the final team now. And the final team is versus the Quick Fights, and this one is very interesting because you don't actually have type advantage. However, you can do some cheeky stuff with Brook, which you guys might see a little bit later down the line with some like bigger damage teams when we actually sort of finalize those and get to some higher Super Boss levels as well. But for this particular team, we are using Super Tandem Luffy as our captain. We are going to be using his Super Tandem as well with a friend captain at level 5 Rush Sanji. So super nice that we can activate that. We have Verse Yamato on the team. We have Ashura Zoro for some chain shenanigans. We have Wano Law, mainly for the Corazon support and to help out on stage 2. And then we have Robin to help just with the guaranteed conditional boost, as we're not using like Nami, and we're not using I mean, you definitely could use Nami if you had Nami at Super Tandem level 5. We're not using like those types of characters anyway. But as you guys will see on stage 2, you get 5 turns of bind on your left-hand side. So the Ace support and the Corazon support help out quite a lot here. And then we can use Law to just rotate all those orbs into matching. With that, we can easily take out Sasaki. No issues whatsoever. Bada bing, bada boom. See you later. On the final stage, we are going to come up against Owlbear, who becomes a super type, even though he removes color affinity for 15 turns. He gives you 1 turn of attack down, and he puts up 6 turns of damage reduction. He also has a barrier for 10 hits. So with the Tashigi support, we get around the attack down. We can then remove the damage reduction with Sanji. Luffy's going to give us a full board of tandem orbs. We're also going to get an attack boost and a damage reduction conversion with Verse Yamato, who can give us that with her Verse ability. She makes tandem orbs 2.25 with that as well. We have base stats with Sanji. We have an increased boost with Luffy. Fortunately, we have a double super type, super class with Free Spirit. But look, that doesn't matter all that much. We have chain shenanigans thanks to Ashura Zoro, and then we also have that conditional boost from Robin. And with all of that, we have quite a lot of damage. Like Queen support is just like extra damage. You don't need that. You can use stuff like Vivi supports as well. Like that's also going to help out if you have like put Arena Frankie on Robin and then use like the Vivi support on Zoro. That's going to give you even more damage for this particular team. But with all of that said, you can actually do quite a bit even without color affinity, which is actually pretty impressive. Seeing as like color affinity is such a big part of Super Boss, and super type being an absolutely monstrous thing, hitting with just like white damage is really crazy. we're going to start off with Sanji to get the Sugo Rush. Sanji is going to actually break through that that tap timing barrier. Every time you do a tap with Sanji 2, it's like he's tapping, so it's hitting like 4 times every single time. Then we can move straight into the Super Tandem of Luffy, which is going to give us a 2.5 times attack boost to Free Spirits, which is exceptionally powerful. And then we can move on to the final tap of Robin to double our chain. But as you guys can see there, we hit 8 billion before we even got to that point. So that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.